really annoying that I can't go landscape. That's so dumb. The painting is landscape. YouTube, you're annoying. Bada bing. Right, I'm going to concentrate on this part anyway. I've been meaning to do this for a long time and I'm trying to do it all the time. It's like she document painting hallucinations. Because according to my neurologist, it's pretty rare. And he thinks I should document it, so I'm gonna. So I've got this old painting. It's a massive painting that I stupidly screwed up because it was quite a good painting. And I just chopped it all into pieces of smaller canvases so I can actually make use of it because it's quite expensive linen. I don't want to waste it. As long as I don't use thinners, mediums, and just use thick paint and diluted, then it doesn't matter that you're painting on top of oil. And what I found is that I've chopped it all into bits, so it makes no sense. And all I see is like, whenever I look at it, I see a ton of hallucinations. And I thought, well, you just paint those. So here we are. I can see a figure there. I don't exactly. The way the hallucination is kind of like, because I've been really suffering narcolepsy really badly recently. I don't know why. My neurologist doesn't know why. Just is. It's a crappy disease. But plus is I get to see these different worlds and paint them, I guess. But I just feel so bloody exhausted all the time. There's nothing that can be done about it. Anyway, don't get negative. I'm just going to keep painting. So I see this figure. I'm going to paint it. I might not talk so much. Play some music, make a cup of tea. Really, this is just for me and documenting, so I don't expect people to watch it. There's something magical about painting hallucinations. It's like I can see it, and it's like it's like bringing another world to life. I feel it's the only thing I can do in the exhaustion that doesn't make me want to cry. It's when you try and do like administration or even music because it's computer orientated music. It's so painful. When I paint hallucinations, it's like I'm semi asleep. I think I need a better brush than this. I'm being lazy. Let me get a better brush. Come on. Some here. I'm so bad. So bad, but so good. This will do. Better. This is my brush keeping regime. Buy brushes, use them, and then forget to clean them, and then chuck them out and buy new ones. Incredibly bad for the environment. It's just I forget. Oh yeah, that's much better. Just using, I think it's burnt umber. It's like a cloak or something. It's never entirely clear. Very bizarre. It's like that's a hand or something. It's annoying that I can't use thinner because it's hard to get a bit of. Oh, it is a hand. Hard to get a bit of motion going. Maybe I can use a little bit because I'm going to paint thickly. Yeah, it's Michael Harding paint, which is thick and dry and got no fluidity. Oh, I know what I can use. I can use liquid. If I use liquid, then it doesn't matter. This stuff. See, I've actually got one open, but again, I'd have to find that. Come on, child luck always defeats me. So I'm a child at heart. Open up. There we go. Yay. I feel like I could almost, all right, just a little bit, so I just put a little bit there. And that is enough, probably, for tonight, because I won't paint that long. Right. Hallucination come alive. Oh God, there's so much easier. See, with liquid, it's just a miracle thing that you can just, it's not a medium. Oh shit, I'm not talking right, am I? It's not a thinner, even though it thins. So you can paint it over thick, dry oil paint without fear of it cracking in the future. Oh, it is a hand. What is the hand doing? I don't know yet. Oh yeah, I should paint more off paint hallucinations. I'm like, it's just I've been so wanting to do music. I've been inspired to do music, but unfortunately, it's absolute bleeding torture. We're just, if I could switch off my brain, just paint what comes to life. Oh, there's another figure. Didn't see you. Get him down before I forget. Before it, not forget, but yeah, before it disappears. Because they're kind of like, they stay, and they can stay like permanently, or they can, it morphs into a different one. I get this with floorboards. When I look at floorboards, I see the most astounding images, and I just want to like paint on the floorboards. I've resisted so far. I did do a video time lapse of one with the iPad and a photograph of the floorboard, but it's not really the same. I feel like the magic wasn't caught really. It's like he's got his hands behind his back. I don't know where it is. I don't know yet. Oh, so there's two figures now. Draw that's his eye. It's like a helmet they're wearing. I was wearing or something. Don't know. Don't know. Might seem completely boring, but as I said, it's for me to document really. I'm not really worried if people watch it or not. And I talk. because I like talking and it keeps me awake. That's common amongst narcolepsy. If you talk, you can stay awake. I think I can only phone up my friends so many times. It's a weird thing nowadays. Like you phone up a friend, they're like, "Oh my god, why are you phoning me? This is so weird. Why aren't you WhatsApping me? What's this old school phoning thing?" I like talking. Prefer to have a conversation than just talk to YouTube. Okay, so there's two figures there. It's almost like a kind of dress gown. It's very odd. Got to go with it because I can see it. See, I can't go away from it. You'd think I go, oh, well, I'm just going to take the best bits. I can't do that. I have to actually paint what I see, what appears. Because then it just, otherwise, the hallucination just fights what I'm like. If I go, wow, let me just turn this into a princess or something like that, that will maybe be popular. I don't know. But it won't work. Oh, it's almost like another figure there. What's going on? Don't know what's going on. Feels like there's another figure. That's a girl. Now that's a girl. That's her head. That's the shoulders. She's wearing like a gown. It's weird. It's like she's with a giant or something. It's really odd. That's her hair. That's her hairline. See? There she's looking down. Almost like it feels like they're meeting royalty or something. It's really odd. Maybe it'll turn out that way. I don't know. I can't really see the other side. I don't really see the king. But I think if I look on the other side, something will appear and then I'll have to paint it. So I'm trying to avoid looking at it. You guys can see, yeah, you can see it. Like it is like when you meet royalty and your head's down. That's what I'm thinking. That may change. Oh, don't cover up the face. All right, I'll bring it back. Bring it back. Mm-hmm. Never fear, my dear. I'm still coming out of you. It's changed a little bit now, so there's a problem. One little smudge and then another hallucination kind of appears. It's pretty odd. Anyway, she's with the giant, obviously, because he's massive. Has he captured her? What is it? What's going on? Presenting her. Let me just get more. See, this I'm painting the background just so I can see the image a bit better. It's always like blurry but it's there. Sometimes it's really clear, and I just can't paint it fast enough. But this one is like it's there. It's not going to change. Got to bring it out. That's another giant there. Real odd, man. Can you guys see that all right? I think you can. It's like he's talking over, advising them or something. They're both kind of like men. Yeah, he's like talking to him. Maybe they're deciding something. Helps when the story becomes clear. Or I create a story around the hallucination. I don't really know. Don't really know if it's conscious or I actually just, I'm a storyteller, so it just comes out. I should get some blue actually, because the blue will really bring it out. I'll show you what I mean. Let me get some. I tell a turquoise blue. Mm. Ow, ow, ow. Some blue there, and that actually make the background much more blacker without using black, which is always a bit crap to use. I just want to show you different shades. I can go a bit thicker with that. The blue I meant. Poor little thing. Why is she there? What world is this? We have massive giant people. Mm, 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 Actually, maybe she is. Maybe that's a she. I don't know. Keep painting. I've got white on this palette. No. I have to get some actually. He leans across to talk to her. That's starting to become a her. But it's not like change it. I've just literally got to paint it, and it's never absolutely clear. Oh no, it's not true. Sometimes it totally is, like I said before. But a lot of the time, I'm just trying to like see what's appeared. So I kind of like learned. I've got these techniques now of like pulling out hallucinations without killing the hallucination, as in like I nearly did with her face. Because there's one little thing, and then suddenly the image changes. Then it's like, oh my god, they're so frustrating. It's like starting again. Wearing a hat, kind of thing, Moroccan hat, kind of thing. Looks like it. I don't know if it's Moroccan, but you know what I mean. Let me get some white so I can bring out these figures so you can see them a bit more. Any white will do. Any white will do. What's that one? Naples yellow light. Okay, it's not really white, but it's kind of. It's nice. It's like creamy. It's like creamy, see? Oh. Oh, sorry. I keep knocking you. There you go. There you go. So you don't want to make it too. We really like subtle with shading because again, I don't want it to change. I want to bring out what I see gradually. It's like coaxing out a rabbit out of a hole. Actually, that's impossible. It's like what other word is it from? Trying to get a deer to eat out your hand. I need a smaller. Oh yeah. Actually, quite old. Mad, I can see their little face now. It's like a figure. Always find it. Always you think, oh, this is it, and then something else appears. And it's like, oh. So I like painting big because it's much easier with hallucinations to paint big. It's harder to like pull them. It's harder to not lose them with smaller paintings because one little flick of the brush and then the hallucination's gone. The problem is when I do the big ones, like you can see, move this away now so you can see the big painting on the wall. See that? The big one? See, that's much easier in a way than this. There's less chance. One flick and then suddenly it becomes something else. You see, okay. I hope it's focused. So again, that's too strong. I'll be careful also because I'm really exhausted. Not to like, again, because I'm so tired, painting big is much easier. You paint her face. Always like, the face is always so important to me. And try and do back paintings with life models, which is much more interesting from life. They're just, and the back paintings are popular and they sell very easily. I don't have very many. The ones that I have done, I've sold pretty much. But they're so boring when you're doing it from you're doing it from memory or you're doing it from a reference photograph. But when you're doing it from life, it's much more interesting. but still, I always like still kind of prefer drawing someone with a face. Always get them to turn around in the end. but, but it's a lot more interesting anyway. But I always think people who can't paint faces paint backs, and but it's really popular. So there's something to it. I think maybe because people imagine themselves there, and because they can't see the face, they can put themselves there. I don't know. It's not my thing. We paint his face as well. I like these brushes. They're from the works, aren't they? See, never knock. Get these from the works, dead cheap. That's why I don't feel bad when I chuck them away, apart from the environment. I try and recycle, and I don't recycle them. You can't recycle them. I try and pull the strands of the brush off and find a place to put. Oh, I'm just bad. I try and do everything I can with the recycling, but not brushes. They're so tiny. I mean, really, I don't often chuck away the brushes because they're actually fine. Even if they dry out, you can kind of undry them with some meths and stuff. I just, you don't get the kind of like you get the guys that do like really ultra tiny detailed art and they're all like, oh, my brush is like 50 pound and you always got to look after your brush. And we, I'm much more of a loose painter like that. I like painting thickly. And so I don't really find that I have to chuck away brushes. And even if they come really thick and crusty, dried, then I can use them almost like a palette knife. And that's cool. She's quite, this, this one there is not very attractive. If it's a, I don't know if it's the he or she yet. This is definitely a he. This is definitely a she. I hope they're not trying to get her married off to whatever is to the right, which I don't want to look at yet, because it will appear. I have to paint it. If it appears, I've got to paint it. She, she's very beautiful. Really weird dress. It's like bayonet flows down there. It's almost like see a leg there. Is that a leg? It's just part of the dress. I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if it is a leg. It makes a bit more, less trying to be Lord of the Ringsy. Oh, it doesn't look. It does look like she's in like a bodysuit. Where that seems to appear that way. Something. She's wearing something very different to what I thought. Very interesting. Very interesting, Maria. What you wearing? I was like thinking she was like a little dull little princess, but she seems to be much more interesting. And sometimes like things amalgamate into like some totally different images, and it's like a part of an image and becomes something else. And again, I don't have any control over it. And right now, our arm looks like it's going to be massive, which, not going to suit a scene. And I might have to go with it unless the detail appears, I can't paint it. So I'll just end up, I've tried so many times where I think, oh, so now I can see the scene and I can easily go, right, this is a scene where here's a princess and they're going to meet a king and they're going to like maybe marry, I don't know. But I can't create it if it doesn't appear as a hallucination, I can't paint it because it will just turn to shit. So I just have to paint the hallucination. If it turns out weird, it turns out weird. It is a true. So the thing that makes hallucinations quite rare, my neurologist says, is that I'm actually dreaming when I paint this. My brain is locked into REM. That's what narcolepsy is. Your brain locks into REM position in your dream while you're awake, and then you get hallucinations, and they're called REM intrusion. Intrusion as in it's intrusive when you're awake. So that's kind of what I'm seeing. So I'm seeing it's not like Salvador Dali who remembered his dreams and painted them. This is actually a dream, and I'm painting it. And just like dreams, if you like everyone has, they're never absolutely clear. It was like, well, I was in a coffee shop and suddenly it became a jungle, and then I was playing chess with my mate. It's always like it's never absolutely clear. Like none of their arms are clear to me. Isn't that weird? I don't know what that arm's doing. I don't know what that arm's doing. I don't know what that arm's doing. Maybe that's the dream. What to do with your right arm? Maybe that's the story. That's quite interesting. It's almost like another figure. I'm going to use some red because that'll pull out stuff. It's really interesting. You pull out, use different colours and it pulls out different things, but you can be so careful. I mean, I've been doing it a lot, good several years now since they started appearing. And I've kind of learnt how to make a hallucination, bring a hallucination to life, kind of. I often like, oh, here we go. There's another figure. Like a mirror image of her. It's really interesting. Didn't expect that. Quite interesting. It's like using a quite a strong pink to bring it out. This might end up being quite multi-layered and weird, which is cool. It is what it is. It does seem to be something else now inside her dress. I thought it was a dress, but I often get this, and it's kind of really fascinating because one scene becomes another scene, becomes another scene, becomes another scene. Oh, God damn it. The struggle is real. I mean, it is late, Ryan. Yeah, but the thing is, I have slept 3 times today. No amount of sleep relieves this. That's the problem. It's the curse of narcolepsy. I can sleep 15 hours a day. I will wake up knackered. Sometimes I've tested it where I've slept 7 hours for like 5 days, and then 5 hours for 5 days, and like there's no difference. I mean, I think it's more dangerous to sleep 5 hours because there's more chance I can fall or something like that. It's just you could definitely notice that extra lack of sleep is going to make you a bit more woozy. So I have like not only exhaustion, but I have wooziness and tiredness and nausea. So I've got to be a bit careful. But part of me goes, well, if I can't feel refreshed, if it's impossible because of like the brain damage to feel like refreshed after sleep, then why don't I just defy sleep? But it's because of that reason. Even though the tiredness feels exactly the same, the kind of like the ability to control my my like limbs really goes down, and that's what I think. And I drop loads of things into like a trip, and I bang into stuff, and so for that reason, I kind of got to get a decent enough amount of sleep so I don't trip over and break my neck. There's no way I'll finish this tonight. I'm knackered, but I wanted to start documenting it, and I'm just going to do it live. I'm just going to because otherwise I just never put it up, I, and like I just need to have it documented. It's really odd. It's like I often get this. It's just so fascinating because it feels like a light. This has become a different scene. And it's like a reflection of her, but it's actually like a statue. I often get this like totem pole. Oh, there we go, went up. Oh, it's becoming clear now. So it's like a totem pole. You can see it's like an Egyptian statue thingy. Well, that's mental. See, that's like a face. That's like another face. What is that? Oh, it's like praying. Oh, that's mental. So you can see it's that is like praying. It's like that's the hand in prayer position. See that? That's mad. Pretty weird. Oh, I like the fire. See if you, and I often get the sweet. You see, get the statue, and I often get the light behind. It's very strong. It's really odd. The dreams are like this. Dreams are like layered. That's why we remember such weird dreams. Because they're often like different stories layered on top of each other. Because like often when I'm, because I dream when I'm awake, but sometimes when I'm actually going into sleep, I'll go into REM sleep, which that's how you get. Anyway, I won't go into it, but normal people can't do that. They can't just fall asleep straight into REM. It's like pretty rare if it happens, but I think it's almost impossible. And but I can, so I'm kind of conscious when I start dreaming. So I notice, dreams are layers, and yeah, you'll notice that I noticed that there's like several. Suddenly, there's like two or three stories going on at once, which is odd because you don't get that in your thoughts when you're thinking when you're awake. You don't think in three stories over on top of each other. But when you sleep, that happens. It's really mad. And that's why I'm very much thinking we do operate on a quantum level. I won't go into that. There's another statue. This is becoming, this is like the dark matter. I often think, am I seeing dark matter? Is that what these hallucinations are? So that's another figure. Shadows becomes like a monster behind them. Again, it's like a reflection. Isn't that mad? It's like a reflection of her, but it becomes something different. She's going to paint it. Like it's not entirely a reflection. That would be sensible, wouldn't it? You can't do sensible with hallucinations. With dreams, dreams that don't make sense. And this doesn't make sense. It's a reflection, but yet it's not a reflection. But it's so beautiful though when you keep painting it and stuff. I do find these paintings my favourite. I can't know why. You know, because that is dreams. You know, it's a real dream captured. And much like real dreams, trying to explain it's really hard. It just is what it is. And I've caught it in oil paint. It's really interesting. Maybe it is like real, like flared trousers. It does look like that way. I'm just scared to paint it and go, well, that's just dumb. But, you know, I don't have to make sense. I just have to paint the hallucination, as I've said about a million times. I'm just going to do it. Just paint it as I see it. Worry about it because I might like come back tomorrow and go, oh, that's what it is. I love these kind of reflections then become something totally different. But I think that's enough. I mean, I've seen loads of stuff now, and it's just going to go on till bloody midnight. I won't do that. I'll just get it down when I see it. See it. Okay, let me just like quickly. I'm not looking there because I know loads of things will appear. So I'm just going to quickly note down what I'm seeing. I'm going to put these borders across, but I was trying to size it. It's a bit dumb. Hallucinations do not know borders. It's really hard. It carry them in. It's probably going to see absolutely no sense, but I'm just doing it so I don't forget. Is there just more figures? Oh, this is interesting. Oh, see, this happens a lot where it just becomes a scene. Like this seems like a scene. Can you see that? Let me move it around. This seems like a scene in like a forest, a really like swampy, dark forest, and that's appeared there. So it's appeared here. I've bloody put borders on. What an idiot! Shouldn't have done that. I'll try and scrape it off tomorrow because it is crayon. I've got to get rid of it and paint on top of it. But look at that. That's mental. That to me is like, I don't know. This is so not going to seem clear to you, but it is to me. It's really interesting, kind of like swampy forest scene. Don't know what it is. There's like an opening. This isn't going to make sense, but forgive me. I should put detail in tomorrow. And it's quite mad, but it is like it's going to be like a forest. I think so. It's kind of what appears now. Really odd. So this scene becomes like then suddenly becomes statues. It's just one of those ones here. And if you see, there's more figures there, and then it's like a swampy forest there. It'll make, the more I paint it, the more it'll become clear. Because if I go over here, oops, you can see how. Oops, you can see the different images that appear. It's really kind of, I love painting. Actually, I need to just concentrate on this stuff. Because I think it's kind of cool. Anyway, tomorrow